Hello everyone, iamxeracon here again, and today I'm going to be talking about something which I sort of thought about after I finished making my last video. Uh, it got me thinking that this is something I should probably talk about, but first, I just saw X-Men Apocalypse. I thought it was a good movie. I'm not gonna say it was the best X-Men movie. In fact, I'm not even gonna say it was like the best superhero movie, but I thought it was pretty good. There was it's definitely, I think, riddled with hints and stuff, which fans of the X-Men series or fans of the comics would note and understand. And also, I felt like it was again trying to bring us to a close of the original trilogy, the first X-Men trilogy movie set of movies that were made, and sort of like trying to ease us into the reboot, into the whole reboot of the X-Men cinematic universe. So it was pretty good. I still believe that Captain America: Civil War is so far is the best superhero movie of this year. And in fact, here's a picture of me at the movie today. But back to the topic on hand. Um, Here's what I'm going to be talking about. And it's a question that I somewhat asked myself when I finished my review of Lost Reavers. And if you haven't seen it, the link will be in the description below. And today's topic is: should the video game industry crash and burn? Should it end? Should it fall? And you might be wondering, what do I mean by that? Um, to be to get to the point, it sort of means exactly what it means. Should should the industry just end? Should we just like stop it? Should something happen that causes it all to fall and no more games are made? Like, this will be the end of it all as we know it. Um, Now, that's a part, and I'm saying this aside from the fact that yes, there will be probably countless lives that are affected. Like, people will be going out of business. People will be laid off. There will be so much unemployment that it will be crazy. Now, I know that no one wants to see that happen. So I'm not saying it as a way like, hey, I want this to happen and I want all these people to lose their jobs. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying, apart from that, should it fall? Like, what we know and love about video games. Um, and I'm going to explain why I almost feel like it should. Yeah, I do think that um, I kind of I kind of wanted to, and yeah. So I'm just gonna start this. I guess you could call it a rant or discussion or whatever. Um, so you have games nowadays, and you know they cut people corporations make these games, and they're released. So yeah, but a lot of some games they are released and they have problems and bugs and glitches and stuff, and sometimes that can render the game uh, unplayable. Give me a sec. This is one such game, Batman Arkham Origins. Now, I haven't had any problems with this game. Well, no, I did have one problem where, for some reason, I was going around a certain part of Gotham. Yeah, it was this game. And I fell through the ground. And then like the game treated as if though I fell in water, and so then I Batman just automatically grapples up to like where you fell off from. And that happened for about a minute before I was somehow able to land on the ground and everything was back to normal. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I actually was able to play through the game. I beat the game, and apart from that one like glitch I had, I've enjoyed the game. Now I know that this is can be somewhat of a mixed bag sort of game, but I liked it. Um, yeah, I've got no beef with this game. But I know that and I've heard that the Wii U had less problems than the other console versions. But I do know that this is supposed to have quite a few glitches, and for some like a few copies have noted that there are glitches where you will not be able to even beat this game because game just won't. You can't play through it because the glitch is so bad that you can't get through. But yeah, it's like one. That's the one thing I wanted to mention, that games are being released, even though we do have patches and stuff. But think back to earlier games. You know, there were no way to make it. There were no way to patch games, so the game had to be released in a final and finished product. You weren't. It was unacceptable to release games. I mean, so you know companies are able to get away with releasing broken games because we sort of let them do that. And I know another game that's mentioned is Assassin's Creed Unity. How that game is full of glitches and bugs, and even with patches, uh, there are still things that are messed up. A friend of mine, she plays Red Dead Redemption, and I think like the latest update somehow made things worse because when she played the zombie mode, she went into a cemetery and she could not. She killed the zombies, but the game would not register that the zombies died, and they also sort of respawn too. So she couldn't complete the challenge for the game because of the update, which was to fix other things, but it somehow made things worse for her. So yeah, um, so yeah, it seems like that where companies we let them do this to us, and so I feel that that shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't happen or anything like that. Um, and also I mean, you could say that it's an option. It's not required as a part of the game, but DLC. It's like you're releasing this stuff to us when you could have. It could have been in the game already, and a lot of the times, it seems that it's intentionally left out. Like, it's not like we're in the case of, say, Super Smash Brothers Wii U. Um, the DLC was sort of an experiment, but then it became like, okay, we're gonna just like add some more DLC to it. Whereas I can't remember what fighting game this was, but someone went through the source code and they found that yes, this character was supposed to be in the game, but they intentionally left this character out just so you could pay for it, just so you can buy it later. And people are saying, well, some people defend DLC saying, well, it costs a lot of money to make this game, and to make it, and they have to earn some income. But look at movies, all right? You know how much money it takes to make a movie, like Avengers or any superhero movie or action blockbuster movie. That costs money too, and still they don't have to charge you later saying, okay, just to see this part of the movie, it's optional though. You have to pay extra for that. I mean, if they did that, if they say you went to the movie and you're like, okay, you can see the ending, but only after you pay a little fee to see that. People would lose their minds over that. That's unacceptable. But the DLC thing, that can be excused. So now I'm going to be honest. I bought all the DLC characters for Smash Brothers, but I still don't like the practice of DLC. I don't like the idea of DLC. Um, it should be a part of the game itself. Because if you already know it's going to be there, then why hold it back just to make a quick buck? And that also goes for something that's even worse: microtransactions. Um, and so yeah, so also cell phone game. Well, the mobile gaming market also, I believe, is another cause why I think that the video game market should just fall, because you know it's harmful to us, because people will look at, like, people will be like, hey, I want to play something quick when I'm out, and instead of like maybe buying a handheld, I already have a phone, so just buy a phone which can play games and stuff. They'll either be free or they'll be cheap. um, but you could say that, hey, it's their money, they can use it how they want to. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, if you're going to buy a high end phone to play games on, you could just buy a console, because chances are they're the type of people who buy a phone year after year. So what's the point? Um, and then also, I believe, lastly, the and this is probably going to, I think, the biggest reason why I think this why the video game market should crash is the gaming community. Now, I'm only saying this to addressing the obnoxious. Well, it's always the negative side of things. That the dark side is always the one that is louder than those who are fine with things. And mostly this is people who are obsessed with graphics and frames per second, and that's either going, and most of the time that is uh, going to be the PC gaming community, like the PC master race. People who believe that gaming on PC makes them elite and everyone else is insignificant. Um, so yeah, you probably know what I'm talking about. They are a blight, and then also some PC gamers, they like to uh, pirate games. So that's another thing I don't like. So yeah, and I feel that if games stop being made, I was satisfied with if the graphics of last gen were as far as we could take them, I would be satisfied. I don't need like a pure 1080 p 60 frames per second. I could be fine with 720p 30 frames per second. I could be satisfied with that. But these people, they can't accept that. It's like, we need perfection. I mean, yeah, the companies, they sort of told us, they tried to make it like, so like, all right, we've got the best stuff. And even that's kind of stupid, because they haven't exactly lived up to their end of the deal, because they promised this stuff and they don't deliver on it. But you know yeah. Well, I've vented now, so meh. I am Xeracon, signing off. Have a good one. See X-Men if you're a fan of comics, a fan of X-Men. Yeah, go see it.